So here's part one of the Shame, Shame, Shame tutorial. I'm going to do the first two harmonica breaks, and then in the next video we'll look at the third break where the drums kick in and some of the music that happens later in the song. You'll need a D harmonica for this. Here's the original recording, and then I'll play the solo slowly. Here's Jimmy Hall. Okay, and here's the solo slowly on a D harmonica. Okay, phrase by phrase. We've got a bend on 4 draw that goes up to a regular 4 draw, and it's quick, so it's more of an articulation than two different notes. It's not so much, it's more of a, it's really just a way of approaching that 4 draw. This riff happens a few different times in the solo. This is a 4 draw bend, 4 draw, 4 draw bend, 3 draw, and then 3 and 4 blow together. Whenever you see the two numbers with the parentheses around them, it means you play those two notes together. And again, this is pretty quick. The slow version would sound like this. And the fast version, it gets really fast. I don't think I can play it as fast as Jimmy Hall plays it on the recording. If you wanted to do a simplified version of it, just to kind of get into it, aim for doing 4 draw, 3 draw, and then 3, 4 blow. So without any bends or anything, that's just, you can see how that's easier to play fast. But aim to get those notes isolated, so you get 4 draw by itself, 3 draw by itself, and then a woof on 3 and 4, where you kind of relax your mouth. And then as you get better at hitting those bends accurately, you have to land on the 4 draw, land on it already bent, bend up to the 4 draw, and then bend back down as you slide over to 3. And here's the simple version: 4 draw, 3 draw, 3 and 4 blow. So that's a less detailed version if you wanna grab that to start with. So your choice. That riff happens 3 times. And then in the second line, we get a 3 draw and then a 3 and 4 blow. That section there, now we're doing the bends as individual notes. So when you get to that, you're going to have a, so that's a 4 draw bend, 4 draw, 4 draw bend, 4 blow, 3 draw, and then a 2 draw and a 1 draw pretty quick. You just kind of zip over them. On the 3 here. And the previous part. Again. And then we've kind of got the lower version of the riff we had earlier, starting on 2. Sorry. We don't have the pre-bend happening here, but we have a similar thing where you play a 2 draw, and then slide down to a 2 draw bend, 1 draw, and then 1 and 2 blow together. So that would be. That happens twice. I don't know if you really need a simple version of that. Well, okay, the simple version of that would just be 2 draw, 1 draw, and then 1 and 2 blow. That'd be. So 2 draw, 2 draw, 1 draw, 1 and 2 blow. Third line of the first break here. We got four quick, 4 short notes on 2 draw. And then our riff again. Here, instead of going to a 1 and 2 blow, we do a 1 blow, 1 draw at the end. So 2 draw with a bend, 1 draw, 1 blow, 1 draw. And back to 2 draw. And that's a 2 draw, 2 draw, and then 2 draw to a 2 draw bend. And some vibrato on that. We'll talk more about vibrato at the end, but I'm just going to play you each of these in the basic version as we continue. Next part. At the end of that, I put an extra 1, 2, 3 draw. Just a little draw chord there, because that's what the band does. You go, and then the band goes bum. He just holds the bent note. If you want to play it exactly like him, just hold the bent note. It sounds kind of cool to do the little chord at the end. It's very satisfying. Next part, 3 and 4 blow. That's 3 and 4 blow, 3 draw, 3 and 4 blow. And then 4 draw. This again, these are not quick bends. These are individual notes. No. 4 draw, 4 draw, 4 draw with a bend, 4 draw unbent, 4 draw with a bend, 4 blow, 3 draw, 3 and 4 blow, then a quick bend here. That's just a 4 draw with a bend already on it, and then to the regular note. And then our riff again. Nope, sorry. Happens twice. That's 4 draw bend to 4 draw bend, 3 draw, 3 and 4 blow. That happens twice. Then we have this big long exciting note where you go from a bend to a regular 4, and there's an effect that he does on this, and there's a couple different ways to do it. Here's my version of it. What I'm doing there is a warble, and I'll talk more about that at the end. I just want to get through the basic version of this. He, I think, is doing a stutter or a flutter or a shimmer. They're different effects that you can do with your tongue, but I'm not good at those. I can tell you how to do them, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Next part, 3/4 blow. That's 4 draw, 4 draw bend, 4 blow, 3 draw, 3 blow, 2 blow. And those last two, the 3 and the 2, are quick, similar to what we did down here with the 2 and the 1. And then we have our 2 draw riff. First time it happens with just one 2 draw in front of it, and then the 2 draw with the bend. And then 2 times. And then. Okay, so effects. The 3 things you got to do in the intro if you want to play all the cool little things that he's playing are you need to be able to do a pre-bend. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see me. So you need to be able to do a pre-bend where you land directly on the bent note. You need to be able to, let me see, I actually wrote them down. You need to be able to do vibrato on some of those long notes, and you need to be able to do some kind of warble. So the pre-bend, we talked about bending a previous time, but the basic idea is that when you're learning to bend, you got unbend. The first level is just learning to bend that note down. And then the second level is to be able to go down and up. Try bending it down, stopping your breath, and then coming back in directly on that bent note. I'm on 4 draw right there. You bend it down, you stop your breath, but keep your mouth in exactly the same position. And then hopefully when you come back with your breath, you'll land directly on the bent note. And if you practice that, then you'll be able to land right on it without the previous bend. You just land right on the bent note. That takes some practice, but that's what's happening there. It becomes this really quick little wiggle you can do. And same thing down here. Oh, he doesn't do a pre-bend on the 2. I find that it helps to kind of punch some of those notes with a t-t sound. It's a t on the in-breath. You can do it in both directions. That's the out direction. I'm saying t-t-t. In-breath. T-t-t. The warble. Okay, in the second break, we've got a 4 draw. We're basically just going between 4 and 5. What's happening there? I've got a 4 draw that's nice and clear. And while I maintain that 4 draw, I'm rocking the harmonica over side to side so that I get a little bit of that 5 edging on and off while continuing the 4 draw. People sometimes do a shake with their head when they do this. That's going to be the best beginner version of that, I think. He's doing what's called a stutter or a flutter or a shimmer. There's a couple different versions of it, which is using your tongue, where you got the tip of your tongue and it's moving back and forth between the 4th and 5th hole. I'm not great at it. You have to be able to do it fast. Listening to it, it sounded like maybe it was a stutter, which is the same thing but with a tap rather than a side to side. That's tongue blocking, and there's a lot of different effects you can do with tongue blocking, where you touch the harmonica with your tongue. I'm not awesome at it. I'm much more of just a straight pucker player, and so when I hear something like that, I usually just do a warble, which is... The other thing that'll help you with the tone of this, if you have access to an amplifier or a friend with a guitar amp, he's playing through a distorted amplifier, and that's part of the sound. You can totally play this thing on a regular acoustic harp, no special amplification needed, but it's kind of cool to play through an amp if you have one. The other technique, vibrato. Right. So again, you can just play a long note and this will sound fine, but the vibrato he's doing on the opening note, I think it's a throat vibrato, where his vocal folds are coming together and opening and closing. You can learn this by doing a machine gun sound. That's in the outward direction. In direction. When you make that sound, your vocal folds are coming together and cutting off the air. Start slow and then see if you can do it rhythmically. That's in the out direction. In the in direction. Right now we're just totally cutting the air off, but when you get more comfortable with it, you can get your vocal folds just to come partway together with a more relaxed kind of feel, and then you'll just be kind of massaging the tone. It won't be, it'll be, so the sound difference is this. That's the more stutter. Machine gun, in breath on the 4. And then you can smooth it out. No, that's just a regular vibrato done by bending. The other easy way to do this would just be to do a hand wah. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do. To do a hand wah, just cup your harp, fan your fingers out so they're straight out from the back of the harp, and then try and cover that container up with your right hand. And then you just open and close. There you go. The other way of doing vibrato is with bends, but you have to be good at bending to do that, and be able to do it rhythmically. The first level of it is just to do a regular bend, like all the way down and up rhythmically. As you do that faster and faster, or to a beat, you find that you can control how much you bend it, and you don't actually have to bend it that much to give that pulsing vibrato effect. And that's the vibrato we're doing on the bent note, because it's hard to do the machine gun stutter throat vibrato when you're on a bent note. And that's what's happening at the end of each of these intro parts. That's what happens if you stutter it. Instead, just try bending it up and down a little bit and back to your original bend. So it's a regular long note, no vibrato, and then he starts to do a little vibrato at the end. Okay, that'll get you started. We'll look at the third break and then the music from later in the song in the next video. Hope that helps.